Ella, come watch your parents' rehearsal. We need your notes.
Mom, I'm watching TV.
Don't be stupid, Ella. I'm so much better than anything you can see on TV.
Hi, I'm Ella from Indiana, and I have the most embarrassing parents in the world. You don't believe me? See for yourself. But before that, please like and subscribe because MSA will give $1,000 to one lucky person who subscribes in the next 7 days. Ever since I can remember, my parents were obsessed with the idea of being famous movie stars, and they'd turn every single thing into a production.
Baby, are you ready for your first day of school?
Mom, why are you dressed like an octopus?
Oh, honey, we want to promote our new movie, Henry Potter and the Octopus Queen, at your school. All your friends and teachers will be so impressed.
Impressed? Everyone was making fun of me as I made my way to my class with my parents looking like cartoons. And the movie they were talking about was the one they'd made themselves, just like all the others, and it was terrible. This was the reason why growing up, I'd never let any of my friends come over. Even on my birthdays, I'd beg my parents not to throw me any parties. But once in 8th grade, my friend Maddie invited me to her birthday party, and Mom and Dad dropped me at her place. But instead of driving away, they parked and got out too. Why are you guys getting out?
We're here for the party, of course.
No, please do not tell me you're going to perform. Only they did. They went onto the stage and started acting out their latest play. And then to my horror, a random kid pointed and yelled, "Hey Ella, aren't those your parents?" What? Of course not. I've never seen those people in my life. Yes, they are. Why don't you go up there and join the circus freaks? A bunch of kids pushed me onto the stage and started laughing, but my parents kept on with their act and didn't even care how they were embarrassing me. I stormed out of there in anger, and that day, I decided I'd had enough. You guys are just making fools of yourself by acting this way, and you're making me miserable.
Ella, why can't you be supportive of our career?
Don't you understand? You're never gonna get famous like this. If you really wanted to make it, you'd be in Hollywood, not this dumb town. I didn't expect my speech to make a difference since they never listened to me. But this time, they did.
Ella, you've convinced us. You're brilliant. We're moving to LA.
Are you serious? Heck, they were, and I couldn't believe it. This was actually a good thing. I was so happy we were finally leaving this place, and I could start a new life. When it was time to go to my new high school, my mom placed a uniform in front of me. What's this?
You're going to a private school.
But we can't afford it.
This is a business investment, Ella. We found a school where all the famous people send their kids, and if you become friends with them, we'll become famous too. Connections are everything, darling.
It's not my job to make you guys famous. Please don't interfere in my life here.
What an ungrateful child. What will you say when we become more successful than you ever dreamt of?
I did go to the private school, but thankfully they didn't make a scene when I got out of the car on my first day. I was barely through the door of my class when suddenly I was ambushed by some students. Hi, I'm Kira. What's your name? I'm Ella. So, Ella, what do your parents do for a living? Suddenly, all eyes were on me, like this was the last winning question of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and I freaked out. They're movie stars. Wow, that's so cool. My mom's a director, and I'm sure they must have worked together. So, like, you're Ella Clooney, Ella Downey Jr., Ella Cruz? Tell me their names. You haven't heard from them. They're from Spain. That's why we're here, actually, to expand in the American market. That's awesome. Your American accent is so good. How do you speak such good English? Jesus, who was she? Some investigating officer? I had to change the topic. My mom's American. My dad's the one from Spain. Hey, who's that? That's my brother, Johnny. He's like the most wanted guy in school. If you want, I can introduce him to you. He was her brother? He was so freaking hot. She called him and he came waving at me in the most adorable way. Hi, Johnny. What's your name? Wow, that was brilliant. Genius.
Wow, you're pretty and funny.
Funny? Phew. Johnny, her parents are famous movie stars from Spain, so much cooler than ours. OMG, my lie was going places now. But what was I supposed to do? Someone was actually talking to me on my first day, and the only reason they showed interest in me is because she thought my parents were cool. That day, I had so much fun hanging with Kira and Johnny. I finally had friends. Later when I went home, I felt kinda guilty about lying. So I decided that I was gonna tell them the truth. But the very next day at school, kids were going crazy around me. Apparently, Kira had told everyone how my parents were huge Spanish movie stars, and now everyone wanted to meet them. Holy Jesus! I ran to the washroom to get away from their questions for a while. Just then, I heard someone crying in one of the cubicles. Hi, are you okay in there? What happened? Suddenly, the door flew open, and a girl who looked like she had been crying a lot just pushed past me and ran away. That was weird. Later, I had a chemistry lab class, and everyone had to work in pairs. That's when I saw the girl from the washroom sitting all by herself, looking kinda sad. Hey, can I sit here? She nodded, and I sat down next to her, and she told me her name was May. So, May, will you tell me why you were crying earlier? First, she hesitated, but then she told me everything. I'm the only one here without a famous or super rich family. That's why everyone is always picking on me, especially Kira. She's the worst. Wow, I had no idea Kira was a bully. I felt really bad for May, and I wanted to tell her I was just like her, but I decided it was best not to tell the truth to anyone. I didn't want to be bullied like her too. We did the experiment and got along really well. She was the sweetest person I'd ever met. That was so much fun. Maybe we can get some pizza after school today? I was about to say yes when suddenly Kira came and locked her arms with mine. No thanks. Ella's got better friends, so why would she waste time with a nobody like you? Saying that, she pulled me away with her. And even though I wanted to push her off and walk back towards May, I just couldn't. At this school, people like Kira ate people like me and May for breakfast. I just saved you from being friends with a loser. You're so lucky to have me. Hey, that's really mean. You're welcome. Later, she took me to her house, and there was a huge pool where Johnny was swimming like a mermaid. My jaw immediately dropped, but before I knew it, I was suddenly pushed into the pool. Kira, what was that? Chill out, Ella. I was just having fun. What if I didn't know how to swim? Oh, right. That slipped my mind.
Hey, Ella, ignore my sister. She's a little crazy. But look at you. Wow, you look just as gorgeous in the water as you do in the sun.
God, my heart skipped a beat as he came closer. But just then, Kira jumped into the water and ruined the moment. You know what? I've got a great idea. Seeing you with that loser girl, what's her name again? February, March, something, May? Yeah, whatever. Let's prank her.
Why?
'Cause it's funny, and she's a loser, and no one will care. She'll care.
Why do you want to bother her?
What's your problem? You, Kira. I wanted to say that to her face, but just then Johnny spoke up and asked her to stop being a brat. At least he was nice. A few days later, I was on my way to the chemistry lab when I saw Kira standing outside with her minions and giggling.
What's going on?
Shh, come here and look. See that flask in May's hand? It's gonna blast in her face as soon as she puts the chemical into it.
And why would it do that?
Because we switched the chemicals. Don't worry, it won't kill her. It'll just be funny.
God, she was such a devil. I immediately ran in and flicked the chemical flask away from May's hand. Ella, what was that? Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, totally. I just slipped. And I'm really sorry about Kira the other day. Do you want to grab some pizza after school? I would love to. Kira glared at me with devilish eyes, and after class, she walked up to me and whispered, "You ditched me for this garbage? Now get ready to be loaded into the same garbage truck with her, Ella." Kira's threat was creepy, but I was done with these superficial people. I started hanging out with May, and for the first time, I had a good friend. She cared about me and not my parents or their status. Then one day, while I was having lunch with May, Johnny came to me and apologized for Kira's behavior.
it's my birthday party, and I really want you to come, Ella."
I looked at May and she winked at me with a smile. "But May comes with me too."
"Sure, as long as you're there, the entire city is welcome."
We were really excited about the party and went shopping for some cute dresses. And when we got to the party, we were blown away. Almost everyone from school was there, and it was so grand. I saw Johnny dancing with some girls in the distance, but before I could go up to him, Kira came over to me. "Hey, Ella. I'm glad you could make it to my little surprise party." "Your surprise party? What are you talking about?" Just then she pointed in the other direction, and my heart dropped when I saw Mom and Dad there. Oh my God, this was a nightmare. But Kira's loud voice was more than enough to tell me all of this was frickin' real. "Guys, why don't you introduce yourselves to everyone?"
"Oh, hi, y'all. We're Ella's parents, and we've come from Indiana to get our careers going. Now, where are all the other famous parents?"
Everyone gasped and turned to me, even May. She looked so disappointed in me, and I had no one but myself to blame for this. "Did you hear, everyone? These are Ella's parents, and they're not from Spain, and they're not big movie stars. They're just struggling losers, and Ella's a big fat liar." Yes, okay, I lied. Only because I wanted to make some friends, but it didn't take me too long to realize I was wrong, because lying can only get you fake, awful friends, like you, Kira. As everyone stared at me, I saw Johnny grinning too. Of course he was in on this. I couldn't stand to be there any longer and ran away. I didn't go to school for days. I felt so ashamed of my stupid lie, and I was afraid of how everyone was going to treat me. Until one day, May texted me and said she was going to be there with me no matter what, and that made me feel a little braver. I just had to face the music. Everyone in school was acting like I didn't even exist. But during recess, I was sitting with May in the cafeteria when a bunch of kids came running and gathered around me. Oh my God, was I about to get bullied?
"Ella, I can't believe I saw your parents that day. Can you please send me their autographs?"
"Are you gonna work on another movie set?" "Gosh, you're so lucky. Take me with you. I'll do your homework for a year." What were they talking about? Just then, I noticed my phone was buzzing like crazy, and I had text messages from Mom.
"Ella, we made it. We're famous. In your face."
I opened the news link she'd sent me and almost fainted. My parents, my actual parents, had both been cast in a highly anticipated superhero movie, and they were Hollywood's new breakthrough stars. Everyone was talking about them on social media. Just then, Kira came running and hugged me. "I'm so sorry we fought, bestie. Let's just forget all that. My mom is dying to meet your parents. And look, there's Johnny. And look, there's a garbage bin. Why don't you and your stupid brother jump in there?" I pushed her away and put my arm through May's as we walked off. "Ella, can I get a selfie with your parents?" "Of course. And tickets to the premiere and anything else you want, May."
It was during one of my performances. As usual, I lip-synced as my parents requested. The dancing was so complicated that I accidentally dropped the mic. Time seemed to freeze. I anxiously picked up my mic as the audience became shocked when they discovered that I was lip-syncing. They started booing and cursing me horribly.
"Fake, leave the stage."
With no other choice, I quickly retreated backstage. "Hi, I'm Mary Jane. I live in Canada, but people know me better by my stage name, MJ. Thanks to my pretty face, from a young age, I became an internet phenomenon. My parents used that opportunity to make me a star. However, due to not being professionally trained and only relying on marketing strategy, my vocal shortcomings were gradually becoming more and more obvious. After the last lip sync incident, my social page was constantly being attacked. To change that, I decided to enroll in a music academy in the US to be properly trained. However, my parents disagreed with that. They said I should spend that time to earn more money instead, and promised to find a way to bury that incident. After a huge fight between us, my parents finally gave up and let me do what I wanted. However, to avoid trouble and the attention of the media, they suggested that I change my identity and appearance before going to the academy. So I wiped off my thick makeup, put on a wig, eyeglasses, and changed into a loose shirt. Now I'm not MJ anymore, but Mary Jane, an ordinary 16-year-old girl. On the first day of school, Angela, the school's most popular girl, helped us find our way. Contrary to her name, she was actually a demon. Angela looked us over, then smirked scornfully. "Don't even think that once you get into this academy, you'll become a star. Losers like you will soon be eliminated from here," she said as she lifted my chin with her hand. I immediately shoved it away. "Don't look down on us. You'll regret it." Unexpectedly, that moment marked the day we became rivals. She always found wicked ways to put me down. One day, after I had just finished showering and stepped out, I panicked to see Angela rummaging through my closet. "What the hell are you doing?" "Take a guess." After saying that devil grabbed my clothes and ran away. I was going to chase after her, but suddenly realized that I was only wrapped in a towel. In my closet, Angela left me a stupid pine tree outfit with the message, "For those who want to shine." It's obnoxious. Although I didn't want to wear it at all, I still needed to return to my room. Having no choices, I put on that stupid outfit. As expected, when I was walking through the academy corridor, no matter how fast I ran, I still couldn't escape the laughter and ridicule of people around me. Another time, Angela poured cooking oil in front of my door. When I stepped out, I slipped and fell painfully to the ground. "Ha ha! Now you know the price for pissing me off." After saying that, she turned and left. When I was lying on the floor in pain, a girl suddenly appeared and helped me up. "Are you okay?" "That's Angela. She's mean to everyone." "She's July." Since then, July and I have become friends, and we shared everything with each other. We were so close that I even told her about my true identity. At first, July was shocked, but she quickly got over it and still wanted to be friends with me. We helped each other both in study and in life. That day, we were informed about the annual music competition in our academy. It's the most important competition of the year that all the students want to win. Not only is it an opportunity to express ourselves, but for many students, it's also an opportunity to catch the attention of famous music companies. That year's competition was duet singing. Immediately, everyone excitedly looked for a pair. However, I was not interested in it at all, because I didn't want my true identity to be revealed. But to my dismay, July was greatly interested in it. She hoped I would pair up with her because with my performance experience, July believed we were going to win. That day when we were practicing, Angela suddenly appeared. "Ha, losers! Like you want to enter this contest too? Don't embarrass yourself anymore. Come on, Angela. Are you afraid that we'll defeat you? In your dream? Just wait. We'll win this contest." From that day on, we put all our mind into practice to surpass Angela. Until one time, after staying behind to practice, I returned to the dorm late at night. While walking in the hallway, a student wearing the school uniform while wearing a mask rushed forward and bumped into me. The impact caused both of us to fall to the ground. I realized that the mysterious person had injured their leg. "Are you okay?" Without waiting for me to finish, the mysterious person ran away in panic, dropping a pair of scissors. Just when I picked up the scissors, Angela appeared out of nowhere with her hair cut in a mess. You cut my hair? How dare you!" Then she rushed to attack me. The loud noise caused everyone to wake up and come out to watch. While we were wrestling, my wig and eyeglasses dropped. "Isn't that MJ?" someone shouted. Everyone else quickly recognized me and started filming. The fight only ended when the headmaster appeared and brought both of us back to his office. It was where I learned that Angela's hair was cut by someone while she was sleeping. When she found me with the scissors in my hands, she thought I was trying to get back at her. No matter how hard I tried to explain, because there were no security cameras there and due to my previous feud with Angela, I was deemed guilty. Not only was I suspended from the academy, my fight video was also spread all over social media. My parents from Canada quickly flew to the US to bring me home. It was a humiliating moment that I had to accept. When I was reaching for the suitcase on the top of my wardrobe, unfortunately it fell and hit my arm. That impact made my arm bleed. Everything sucks. Life just wanted to tear me down. Dejectedly, I went to the infirmary. After my arm was bandaged, the nurse gave me a notebook. "It's done. Please sign this." "Here?" "Yes. Everyone who gets treated here has to do this." Her words suddenly gave me an idea. The stranger who bumped into me was a student because they were wearing a uniform. Also, because we both fell down and got injured, they would definitely have to go to the infirmary and have to sign that notebook. I quickly turned the pages and looked for the day of that incident and was shocked. You know what? Only July had come here that day with a leg injury. I brought that evidence to July to expose her. After a while, she finally confessed her misdeed. "Your parents hired me to do this." "What? My parents are behind this?" "Yeah, they want their golden child to be expelled and return to work soon, so they paid big money to hire me." Soon after, I brought the evidence I had to the principal to clear my name. He soon suspended July after what she did, and Angela, after knowing everything, was actually decent enough to apologize to me for her misunderstanding and the mean prank she did. I also talked to my parents to expose their true faces and firmly decided to continue to stay in the US and keep pursuing my dream. At my insistence, they had to back down. Finally, everything is on the right track again.
Hello, my name's Ben, and I pretended to be bankrupt so my spoiled kids could earn a living. Remember to post your unique titled ideas in the comments below. Give a like to the ones you want to see animated. If your suggestion does well, we'll include you in our special Discord server. Alright, back to the story. I was on my way to work when I saw our mailbox brimming with mail. I felt my stomach churn when I opened the letters. Several warnings. Notices. Outrageous credit card bills. I ran back into the house and demanded an explanation from my son, who was too busy slaying monsters in a game to even face me. I left you money. I told you to deposit specific portions of that cash to take care of our expenses. And not only did you not pay our bills, you spent a significant chunk of my credit. For what? Well, you know I needed a new graphics card. Duncan has a 390 now, and I don't want to be the kid who still has a 370. That's just ridiculous. I can't play all my new games on an old piece of junk. Oh, and I bought new games. You spend your whole day playing games you don't finish, Jim. And what's this $20,000 charge for Cartier and Balenciaga? Gucci? Off-White? You can't possibly expect me to start spring break without a new wardrobe, do you, Daddy? It was my daughter, and she talked about spending 20 grand like it was the weekly grocery budget. 20 grand? On clothes, Kendall? It's not just clothes, Daddy. There's bracelets and bangles too. And I got those for a bargain. Hello? I had to rummage through the sale rack. It was embarrassing. And I'm gonna have to wear those bargain bin items to parties, Daddy. Parties! I rubbed my temples with my fingers in disappointment. I worked back-breaking hours. Missed meals. All because I wanted to give my children the best life I could. And they used my money without any consideration of their futures. Of how hard I had to work. Without a care in the world. But even when I explained to them how much it would cost to pay back the debt they racked up, they just shrugged and told me, "It's fine, Daddy. You're rich. We'll manage." As I poured through the bills, I heard my daughter on her phone, talking about a new collection of clothes that was about to drop, and how she's contemplating paying $1,000 on a pre-order fee just so she could have them before anyone else in the school. My son, on the other hand, spent the whole morning either shouting at his teammates or bragging about the fact that he'd gotten the latest gaming system because he's loaded. Was it my fault? Maybe. I realized then that my desire to provide everything my kids needed backfired. My kids were spoiled rotten, and I really needed to do something before it got worse. They were entitled, and they took things for granted. I needed them to learn a lesson, but how? That evening, my daughter raised the subject of new shoes over dinner. "You have 42 pairs of shoes, Kendall.